good morning from Babcock State Park. A beautiful chilly morning here, but the golden hour morning light has made it worth it as we are close to peak colors. I was here last night when I first got in, drove in late, later than I would have liked, had to set up camp in the dark, but I came back here and did some astrophotography. Not a bad vantage point, didn't get anything too spectacular because I wasn't able to look at this location in the daylight, and I spent most of my time just trying to find the right composition. I may come back here tonight, although I may check out the famous bridge over New River Gorge tonight. This is a nice lookout, although it's still a good ways from here to where New River Gorge is. I was hoping to have gotten some fog, but we didn't have foggy conditions this morning. That would have made shooting through the valley there more interesting. But still, this is a nice spot, and I can tell why it's a popular overlook. Next stop is going to be the famous grist mill. Not sure if I'm going to shoot it today, but I'm at least going to scout it for tomorrow morning or sometime later potentially. Alright, at the famous mill now. I worked on one composition here today. Most of the photographers shoot over in that direction. I was also trying to get out of here fast so as to not be in their road. So I tried to rush through this. They've all now left, of course, after I'm done, and I'm not going to go back and do it over again. But to try to make something more interesting, I went up to that rock up there. There were no leaves on it, but there were some leaves in the area, and I threw some on there to try to make something more interesting. It was a focus stack and an HDR stack, so hopefully that turns out. I may come back tomorrow and try the other vantage point that is the most popular to shoot from. We are rapidly losing the golden hour light here, so that's going to wrap it up today, but you can see why this is one of the most photographed waterfalls, not only in this state, but probably in the entire country. Very picturesque setting. Alright, this is a nice short trail here called the Tunnel Trail. The tunnel part of the tunnel trail is closed now. I guess it's unsafe. At times, wildlife can be spotted on this trail, I was told by a park ranger. Nothing today, but still a nice walk if you're looking for something to walk through. There are some photographic opportunities, I would think, earlier in fall, but most of the trees in here have lost their leaves, as you can see by the heavy canopy already on the floor. A gorgeous view from the main overlook here at the Grandview section, though, back down towards the New River Gorge. I'm going to try one more trail here in this area before calling it an afternoon and turning my attention to sunset photography. Don't know what we're going to get in terms of that tonight because there are not many clouds in the sky, but we'll see what we get. I was happy with the shot of the chipmunk and the shot of the sunset I got in the final trail I was at in the Grandview section of New River Gorge. I went and looked at some overlooks afterwards and grabbed a couple of quick pics. Then as I was driving out of the Grandview area, I saw some deer on a hill and was able to grab a nice photo of them with the leaves in the background. Then I headed back the next morning to the overlook area in Babcock State Park. Back to the picnic area last night, I partially succeeded and partially failed at getting good astro shots. I succeeded, well, at least as far as the Insta360 can succeed. I succeeded with that. That should make a nice time-lapse video. However, I did fail shooting it with interval timing with the Z7 II. Beginner's mistake. I thought I had set it to take a shot every 18 seconds. I had set it to take a shot every 18 minutes. Didn't put the 18 in the right spot. Lesson learned there, though, and that should be good experience. Even if I only took, I think it's about 6 photos over the course of that 2 hours or so. Still, it's good practice for future trips. I'm definitely going to be doing that later on. Hopefully did some trips in Florida and Washington next year, where there's going to be some good night skies at areas I'm at. But another cloudless morning here. Not much in the sky, but still a very nice viewpoint. We're getting to the later parts of golden hour here, so not much more of that real nice light. I'm going to focus more on wildlife shots today. There's supposed to be some clouds tomorrow, so for shooting the waterfalls I want to shoot, I think that's going to be the best bet is tomorrow, and more of the landscape stuff. So I'll see what I can find today. Alright, before heading back to the grist mill, I'm going to check out this Gauley Lakeview trail. It looks pretty nice, and I'll see if I can find any wildlife along this. One thing is for sure, the fall color really adds to the scenery. Well, not much luck in terms of wildlife. I saw one duck swimming on the other side of the lake that was over here when I was on the opposite side. No sign of him now, and I've only seen one other small bird this entire time. The only thing I've really taken a photo of is one butterfly, which is pretty common in the eastern US. I'll put the name down below. I've seen it in Ohio plenty, and I did get one decent one of him, but certainly not the best I've ever gotten of a butterfly like that. I've gotten better ones closer to home. Gonna head over now towards the south, finish up the trail, and head back to the grist mill. Fly the drone there. They allow drones from 1 to 3 every day. That should be interesting. Hope to get some decent footage down there. Here in the Summersville Lake area now, and the Long Point overlook did not disappoint at all. I got a nice drone photo here in the golden hour light at that location, then came down the road here. There is a pullout and a lookout by the Summersville Dam. Flew over towards this island that you can see out there in the distance right now. And once I got the drone over it, I saw this other little island that was completely desolate except for this little patch of grass and 4 or 5 trees. I believe there must have been, some sort of water that comes up at that point that allows those things to exist when there's nothing else there on that island. I got one okay drone shot. Unfortunately, I could have gotten a better one had I been able to get lower, but because of this island being between me and where I was trying to shoot, the signal kept cutting out when I would drop too low in elevation to try to get a lower point of view and a more dramatic angle of the island with those trees on it. Very frustrating, because that could be a really good shot there. And of course, if there was more in the sky here than just basically blue sky, that would have been nice too. But you have to work with what weather you're given at the time you're there. It does look like we are getting some clouds coming in over there, so hopefully there'll be more color here tonight than I've had my first couple of nights here in the New River Gorge area. Onward! All right, at Carnifex Ferry, Battlefield State Park now. There's a couple of picturesque locations right out of the gate as soon as you pull into the park. Nice photogenic place right here. Their gift shop, and it's not open right now, open on weekends, but you can tell it's an old house, 1850s, according to that sign to the right. Well, that does it from Carnifex Ferry, a nice little park. There's even some playgrounds here if you want to come here. You're traveling with a family, it'll be a nice stop too, aside from the battlefield historical aspect of this. And there's a nice overlook here out at the Gauley River, where the Gauley River Recreation Area gets its name. This is almost as nice as any viewpoint you will see in New River Gorge as well. The question for me now is, do I dare try and go to Cathedral Falls with as fast as this light is fading? Maybe. We'll see. I did not go to the falls as I did not have enough daylight to make it there, but as I was driving away from this park, I did pull over and shoot this barn along the side of the road with my phone. I'm not too entirely happy with this though, as this was just a little too HDR-y for my taste. Alright, my final morning here in Babcock State Park. I was on my way to the grist mill to take one final shot of that, because you can't take too many shots of that, right? And I saw some deer in here. I'm going to try to get them amongst these leaves. They ran off onto that hill out in the distance there, and I will see if I can go track them down. That'd be nice to get them right on that hill with those leaves directly behind them. Don't see them right now though. I may have lost them. Alright, I spooked the deer off, but I did stumble upon this little tree with leaves changing amongst larger trees here in this wooded area near Mans Creek picnic area. It's not spectacular, but it's still a nice composition, and a nice enough composition, I think, to take a photo of. I was able to maneuver myself here to get a shot with the sun peeking through this little tree here too, so hopefully that will add to it. Didn't have the wide-angle lens on me, but luckily in today's day and age, you're still able to get decent stuff with the cell phone technology that we have now and these larger sensors, especially the one on the main sensor on the S22 Ultra. I took some with the Expert RAW app. Those are just awesome. So much dynamic range that they're able to capture. And then I also took some in the 108 megapixel mode in the main one in case I needed the extra detail. Probably don't, but since I got it, I use it. Now I'm going to head back to the mill. Might as well take one more photo before I head out of Babcock State Park. And while driving to the grist mill, I found another little tree amongst larger ones here with the sun shining right on it. I don't think this is going to turn out as nice as the other one, but still I had to stop and grab a quick shot with my Expert RAW app on the S22 Ultra. Well, sometimes you get lucky. Just trying to frame up a shot to get the light coming down through a leaf, I found a leaf that had a bug on it. I think it was a stink bug, but I'm not entirely sure. It didn't quite look like the stink bugs I'm used to seeing. I'll put the name down here below once I Google it or ask a ranger and find out what bug exactly it is. But that definitely made that a much more interesting shot, getting the silhouette of the insect on the leaf as the light was shining through it. Alright, back one more time with the iconic Glade Creek grist mill. Gonna try to shoot a couple of compositions before the sun starts hitting it. And I better hurry because it's already peeking through. Well, I did not make it before the sun came out. Now it's hitting the grist mill head on. But truth be told, I'm not too disappointed in it. I knew I needed to get here earlier than I did. I was happy to have stopped along the way and taken the shots I've got. It's not like this shot hasn't been shot probably as much as, I don't know, Niagara Falls or Tunnel View or any of the other iconic American spots. Still happy to have taken it. They're decent enough. Certainly nowhere near the best that's ever been taken. Didn't have the best weather. And also, as you can plainly see, we're probably about a week past peak at this location. I'm gonna guess probably a week and a half based on what I could see from Instagram on what others posted about 10 or so days ago here. Most of the leaves on those trees behind the mill have fallen off. Still beautiful fall color everywhere else here in Babcock State Park and around the new River Gorge area. Well, after leaving the grist mill, I thought I had a back way to get down to New River Gorge, and there was a wildlife management area that I wanted to visit along this route. Boy, howdy did I make a mistake going down this road. I believe this is Sewell Road that I'm on. As you can see here, it is completely gravel, and there is no way a sedan should be driving on this road. I bottomed out several times in my Civic. I did, however, stop and get this pic. Hey, make the best of it if you're on a back road like this. This picture is nothing special, but I'm still happy I was able to take advantage of the situation and get it. Luckily, I was able to finally get back onto a paved road, and then I made it back down to New River Gorge National Park and made it to the next area I wanted to visit. All right, back in New River Gorge National Park proper, here in the Glen Creek area. I'm heading down in a boat launching ramp to take a photo of this vista, and you can see Pew Bridge off there in the distance. I may try with the 70 to 200, maybe even 200 to 500 zoom in and see what I can get. But first off, I'm going to head down over here and see if I can't get a wide angle shot with these leaves that are all pulling in this direction. One thing that has struck me here for being October and for them having had a lot of cold nights already, I believe they even had a snowstorm here, mild one last week, but man, the gnats are everywhere and they are buzzing around me right now. I don't know if they're coming through on the video, but they are everywhere.
Made it to Sandstone Falls here last morning at New River Gorge National Park. What a gorgeous area. And it is a gorgeous area behind me too. Well, of course, wouldn't you know it, by the time I got my Z7 II out, shot a little bit of the waterfall, turned back around, the fog had all lifted. It lifted fast once that sun peeked out. Luckily, as soon as I took that first video clip, I did a 3-shot panorama with the Expert RAW app on my S22 Ultra, so I think I should be able to stitch that together and get something decent. Alright, stop by this little creek on my way out after leaving Sandstone Falls. I'll see if I can get any nice compositions in here. Looks kind of messy though, but we'll see. I just had to stop with all these leaves down in this stream. Well, I wasn't able to get much, unfortunately. The composition I really wanted would have been to have had some leaves in front of that little waterfall right there, but shooting down here, trying to go up, there was just too much in the mid-ground of just empty right there to get a composition I really liked, and I couldn't find anything else, but still happy to have stopped by. What a gorgeous little area. Well, that wraps it up here from the New River Gorge region. I stopped along the way out at this little waterfall right alongside a pullout. Didn't get much in the way of composition here like I had hoped when I first saw this from the road, but I played around a little bit and I got a couple of shots, you know, nothing special, but worth at least stopping and having taken the time to try to get something here. Was gonna go to Dunn Loop Falls, but unfortunately a ranger told me that they are working on Thurman Road and it won't be done until next week, and there were delays of up to 2 hours, so skip that one and save it to next time. Another reason to come back to the New River Gorge area. It's just gorgeous, that's for sure. One thing I can't get over though is the gnats, and that's why I'm wearing a hat right now. It's not because of the sun, it's because of all these gnats, and they're one in my eye as I'm talking. They are driving me insane. but that's a small price to pay for visiting what is a gorgeous area. Can't wait to come back. Thanks for watching, and be sure to get out and photograph America yourself.